Hey folks, and welcome to Module 1. This is Showing the Wires. I call this Showing the Wires, WHYRES, because it's a chance for me to be able to go through and kind of explain a little bit why we're doing what we're doing for this semester. There are very specific reasons why I'm having you do the activities that I want you to be able to do. And so that's what we're going to do. So I want us to dive right in with Module 1. So we've now had a chance to meet. We've had a chance to maybe go over the technology a little bit. But today we're going to be diving deep into what we're going to be doing. And remember, this first major assignment that we're going to do is we're going to be creating a unit plan outline. And so I want us to have that in the back of our minds and the front of our minds as we go through and do these. But I also want us to think about like how are we designing for student learning? I really want to focus on design as the major focus. And so for today's module, for this week's module, and as we think about kind of what's happening next, today we're going to focus on, for the first time, universal design for learning. Universal design for learning has been around for quite a while. It's been written into several major, federal policies, and it's a chance for us to be able to kind of think about like how can we, before we build our courses, think about the barriers that exist for our students. And so that's what I want us to do. I want us to kind of like right up front as we think about the capstone for unit planning, lesson planning, how can we think about those barriers in advance and design for that? And so for the next couple of weeks, you're going to be diving into three big ideas to get us really up and running into this unit plan that we have to create. First, as I mentioned, is universal design for learning. You're going to explore what UDL looks like in action and compare it to more traditional approaches. This is about making sure that every student in your class has access to meaningful learning opportunities. Second, we're going to dive into our unit plan and think about what are our big ideas. You'll take on a role of an investigative journalist who asks those who, what, where, when, why, and how questions about your learners and uncovering the core concepts that your unit needs to focus on. While also thinking about, remember, there's um, that other document, the that's going to be focusing on, your own students in your own classroom learning, that context for learning document. Third, you're going to dive into essential questions. So these are the driving questions that spark the curiosity for your students, get students thinking deeply, and then tie them back to those big ideas. That's the first week of this module. The second week is going to be your first of your small group video chats. So as a remember, you're going to find a time to work with your other two people in your group. Um, you're going to get online, you're going to record a conversation, either audio or video. And you're going to get a chance to kind of work with your peers to get feedback and connect your ideas for your context for learning document, your ideas for your unit plans. So why are we doing all of this? Because effective unit design starts with clarity. Knowing what's most important to teach, why it matters, and how we make things accessible for all of our students. The work you do in this module is going to be the blueprint for everything that we do for the capstone moving forward, and I'm super excited to see what y'all come up with. As always, please reach out if you have any questions. Good luck.